Hello everybody, Captain Marty Brill here, Monday, June the 29th, and we're about to knock another month in the head and roll into a really significant holiday week, our 250th anniversary of our country. Looking forward to all of that. July 4th is a great time to be on the Outer Banks, and I look forward to seeing everybody out having a great time, enjoying the beaches. We've had some rain, not a lot, but rain that we really needed, and we have an interesting fishing report today, and I'll be back to share it with you in just a moment.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here, and when I was looking for a top quality mower, I went to the best, and the best is A&W Sales in Pinetown. Now at A&W Sales, they carry top quality brands like the Bad Boy zero-turn mowers, of which I own one now for 15 years. American-made, heavy-duty machines built to handle anything from backyard touch-ups to commercial jobs. They've proudly sold and serviced Bad Boy mowers for over 15 years. How about if you're in need of a trailer? A&W Sales carries the full line of Big Tex trailers, the best-selling trailer brand in the entire nation. Visit them in-store or online at awsalesnc.com, where tough equipment meets trusted service.
Come and experience fishing for the whole family aboard the Crystal Dawn at Pirates Cove Marina in Manio. The Crystal Dawn is a roomy 65-foot headboat, fully equipped with the latest gear to give you the best fishing experience. Worried about getting seasick? Fear not. The Crystal Dawn stays in safer and shallower waters to lessen the likelihood of that happening. Half-day and private fishing trips are available. To find out more, go online to crystaldawnheadboat.com. The Crystal Dawn Headboat out of Pirates Cove. Fishing that is fun for all ages.
Starting with the offshore fleet down in Hatteras, blown out yesterday, but they did get out on Saturday, and they had really good blackfin tuna fishing, a lot of good numbers. They're not real big, but they're delectable, I can tell you that. I'd love to have a loin out of a blackfin on the grill. There was a few dolphin caught in the catches and a very scattered wahoo. So that was pretty much what they've been doing right along, but again, they were blown in down that way on Sunday. There's been a scattered cobia for their inshore fishermen, but mostly they are focusing on red drum and bluefish. There's some sight casting going on, and in the backcountry portion of today's report, we'll talk more about red drum and bluefish as they're starting to get a little bit more numerous back in the Sound. Oregon Inlet Fleet had some superlative catches on Saturday with some very big yellowfin tuna, and I think I saw one that was 180 some pounds, a couple that were in the 130 pound range, big what we call sickle fins, big long yellow streamer fins, one of the prettiest fish in the ocean, those big sickle fin tunas. Some of the guys stopped and made a deep drop for tilefish and caught some of them. Some tilefish are really, really good to eat. Almost everything we're talking about is really good to eat. There was on Saturday a little bit of activity with some sailfish and a blue marlin or two. And then yesterday, I talked to Captain Jack Graham on the Aficionado out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. He said the meat fishing was a little bit slow yesterday, but there was a pretty darn good bite on some billfish, and there were some superlative catches as well. For instance, the Drifter had 2 blue marlin and 2 sailfish with Captain William Howe. The Biopsy with Jesse Grunitzky had a grand slam. That's a blue, a white, and a sail, all released in the same day. There was 2 blue marlin on the tail gunner, and there was a blue marlin and a sailfish on Jack's boat, the Aficionado. So a little bit of a bite. Maybe that's a sign of things to come. Our next tournament is the Boat Builders Tournament in a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and can't wait for that one. It's one of my favorites. In the surf, just the same old mix. Hatteras had bluefish, and they had some pompano. They had some sea mullet, but the ones they had were some big ones. I saw one that weighed 2 pounds. A few croakers, but one thing you'll see all through our surf and pier report is Spanish mackerel. It's been really good Spanish mackerel fishing down on Hatteras Island. If you're not sure how to fish for them, that's more of a cast and retrieve type fishery with metal lures. Any of your local tackle shops can rig you up, show you how to do it. Now, the North Beaches, same kind of thing. Bluefish, Spanish mackerel. I forgot, Ramp 44 had a decent, good sea mullet bite. That would be down on Hatteras Island yesterday. But now let's jump up to the North Beaches with blues and Spanish mackerel. And then everybody is catching a spot, a croaker, a sea mullet, a lot of small sharks, and I usually don't even bring them up. So a couple of big sharks too. One story I read, a guy had his pole sitting in a rod holder, on the beach in the surf. A big shark grabbed it and snatched the pole out of the holder. It drug it down the beach where it got tangled in somebody else's surf fishing gear. And so using somebody else's gear, they got and retrieved the rod and reel from the first guy's gear. The shark was still on it, and they fought it to the beach and released a 6-foot shark quickly, so it will live to eat a tourist another day. Anyway, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But yeah, they did release it, 6-footer, and that's all good. All right, now, what else we got? Pier fishing, not a whole lot going on. Spanish mackerel, bluefish, spots, croakers, sea mullet, a little bit of everything there. Just none of it is superlative, so we'll just say it was a mixed bag. Now we're going to take a little break, and I will be back to talk to you about some of that sound fishing that's gradually picking up. I'll be back to tell you all about it in just a moment.
Experience why the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center is known as the fishing capital of the world. Drop a line with the largest charter fleet on the East Coast and chase tuna, mahi, marlin, cobia, and much more in legendary waters off the Outer Banks. Whether you're headed offshore for the big bite or just enjoying a laid-back inshore trip, the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center has everything anglers need. Expert captains, bait, tackle, fish cleaning services, and even a nice little restaurant overlooking the marina. Located at the north end of the Bass Knight Bridge, it's where Outer Banks fishing stories are made every single day. The Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Play where the big boys play.
Been a little bit of an increase on the drum and bluefish bite behind Hatteras Island. Don't have a lot of details. There's been a scattered speckled trout, kind of nice size ones, not many of them, but the bite is mostly bluefish with a few puppy drum. And I have not heard a whole lot of an update on the very covert large drum fishery. There are a few of them around. It's the same way the tarpon fishing. There's a lot of them around over on the Western Sound, down towards the mouth of the Neuse River. And both of those fisheries, those people are very territorial and secretive, and I don't blame them. But I usually will hear when it gets to be really good. I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing that it's really challenging right now to come up with a big fish in the Sound. But having said that, there's puppy drum, there's black drum, there's sheephead, bluefish, and like I mentioned, occasionally a speckled trout. Little Bridge on the Manion and Eggs Head Causeway, they had some croakers, spots, and bluefish over the weekend. Same kind of mix that they're having over on the piers. And the Bonner Bridge, which is the old bridge across Oregon Inlet, it's now a free fishing pier on the south side of Oregon Inlet. They've been catching sheephead and blues. That's not breaking news, but that's what's been going on down there. That's a great spot to go fishing. We really do have a lot of opportunities to fish in places you do not require a boat. I might recommend you give a try to walkingangler.com. That's Tony Lombardi, who feeds me a lot of information for our surf and pier reports each day. But he has all kinds of information on there and articles about how to catch a fish without a boat while you're walking. So try it out, walkingangler.com. And that's it for our report for today. I hope you have a great week. If you've just arrived in town, enjoy your week. It'll pass quickly. So just remember that the best bite this time of year is early in the morning, late in the evening. That's that first light and last light. That's when the fish are up in the wash feeding. The other thing is, remember, don't overcast the fish. The fish are in the wash feeding on sand fleas and shrimp. So just a little toss is all you need to do. Light tackle. Trust your local tackle shops to steer you to the right thing. I spent some time at Red Drum Tackle, my longtime sponsor in Buxton. And when I watch them coach people on how to catch fish, it's just what you get in a local tackle shop that you never will find in a big box store. So keep it in mind. You'll never find that in a catalog either. So go shop with the locals and have a great day, and let the good Lord bless you richly.